Hello, how are you? I hope that you recognize this shape. It's a mummy. Come hang out with me for a little while. We're gonna make this fun mummy project. We are gonna transform it into a door hanger tonight, my friends. And I think you're gonna like this one, so come hang out. Give me a little bit of your time this Saturday evening, and then I'll let you get back to your day, okay? And you can comment the word mummy right here in the comments to get all the stuff to make this, okay? You will get a message in your inbox. Hi, Brooke. I am having a great day. I went today and met up with a friend of mine, and I got a bunch of brand new retired stuff. So I hope that you're planning on joining me for my live sale on Tuesday. And if you're not, run over to my page. The event is on there, and mark yourself as going so that you will get a reminder. All right, so this mummy comes with this little sign, and it is the perfect size for this cute little Halloween transfer that is available on my website right now. Let me show it to you. Yeah, I would love for you to be there. Thanks for dropping in. Hi, Stephanie. How are you, love? Welcome. So yeah, I got a bunch of new retired stuff. I got surfaces even. So you're not going to want to miss it. Okay. It is, I don't know how long this stuff is going to actually last. I don't think very long. I am really excited about it because it's all stuff that some of it I've never even seen before. Okay. So that's super exciting. Just painting my little, spiders here. And this is pretty fun because this little mummy has a spider that's like coming down from his hand. And I'm going to paint this black, but I'm probably going to paint white over it maybe, or draw a white line with my paint pen possibly. Okay. All right. So there's my little spiders, the little sign right here, his hands, okay, and the back of his eyeballs. All right, I'm gonna just leave this paintbrush right here because if I need to touch up the black, I don't want to have to get another one. Plus, we might do a little dry brushing tonight. Okay, so here is the first layer of his mummy suit. Okay, this thing is layered, and let me see if I can switch this out. Here's the rest of his pieces. Now, I'm using this this is French linen, okay? On the bottom layer of the mummy, I used that oatmeal color that I have, okay? All right, here we go. Just gonna use my lid. It makes it a lot easier for me to not have to dip into the paint jar. And I'm probably gonna do 2 layers on these. Now we are going to come back with some distressing wax and some little decorations on them. So hang out and I'll show you what we're going to do. This little guy is like 17 inches long. Okay. He's so cute, y'all. I'm so excited to show you this one. I came across this file the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to figure out what project I can do with that because my people need to see this. All right. All right, and don't forget, I do have a sale going on right now on my Etsy shop. So if you haven't checked that out, it's just for the weekend only. It ends tomorrow. So make sure that you go and check it out. All my cutouts, my gosh, are on sale right now, okay? So check it out. Grab what you want. I will be cutting furiously tomorrow. And I'm going to be prepping tomorrow for my live sale on Tuesday. So going through all that new stuff that I got, adding it to my list, and getting ready with some numbers and all that stuff so that we're all good to go for Tuesday. And I hope y'all are excited as I am because, oh my goodness. Wow. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? I mean, seriously, some of this stuff is so old. There's one transfer that's purple in there. I don't know if y'all have ever even seen the colorful transfers that we used to have, but they used to be, instead of being teal like this, they were like all different rainbow colors. So yeah, I have a pink one and a purple one and just some super old surfaces that I'm like, wow, I can't believe you had all of this stuff to my friend. So super happy to go have picked that up today. All right, I'm just using regular white. These are his eyeballs right here. I might do 2 layers on these eyeballs. There we go. And I don't know if I'm going to do that little webbing piece with white. I think I'm going to just leave it black. All right. There we go. I think we might be good here. Sorry, my face is itching right there by my nose. I'm not picking my nose, I promise. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do one more layer of this white linen, and then, or it's French linen, excuse me. And then we can start putting this little guy together and doing our transfer on the, that little surface that he's going to be holding. Y'all, this is a really fun one. And I'm going to have to like switch out my door hangers. Because I have Halloween door hangers for days. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to organize that. Maybe I'll have to put a door hanger on our garage too. I already have one on my craft room door that I hang stuff on. And I have one on my office door. And then of course on the front door. But, you know, every door in the house could have a door hanger on it, honestly. I mean, spruce it up some, you know? All right. I think this color is perfect for a mummy outfit. We are gonna rough it up a little bit with some distressing wax here in just a second. And I have an idea for some of those, y'all. I love using a paint pen to add like little lines onto my projects. I think it just, I don't know, it adds like a little razzle dazzle. So I found some ideas on how I can add some of those little squigglies to this one too, because, you know, a painted project is not complete without those. All right, here we go. All right, I am not sure if I did a second coat over here, so let me just quickly do that. And then I'm thinking these eyeballs might need one more layer, maybe. Let me see if I can, I have a little bit of paint left on here. Just bright white. There we go. It's that Adirondack white, is so white. I love it. All right, now put this all away. I think we might do another layer on that black. I washed my paintbrushes right before I came on here, and so they have a little bit of water on them, which is good, because then my paint's not so thick, but then it thins out my paint, so. Do one more layer here. And my mom insisted that we have to make these Black Widow spiders, so we'll be doing that tonight too. I have my pens out and ready to draw the little hourglass on the spider backs. Okay, there's 3 spiders that come with this little guy. And they're free. So 2 of them are free spiders, so you can put them wherever you like. All right. And then one of them hangs from his hand. So it's fun. All right, so make sure that you share me with your friends, your craft groups, whatever. Tell people about me and that you're in my VIP group, because that's where I share all of my sales, like sale prices and things like that. Also finished projects get shared in there a lot by not only me, but also my very creative, very talented customers. So if you have a project you've been working on, I would love for you to share it in there. All right. Okay, I think we're good with this. Pretty sure. I'm gonna put this right over here because, you know, I just don't trust myself to be actually done with paint. Okay, so let's make it dry. Okay. So we are going to use glow-in-the-dark paste tonight. If you haven't grabbed yourself some glow-in-the-dark paste, y'all, it is super cool. It looks like this, okay? Dries clear and glows really, really nicely. And just charges up with light or sunlight. And then once the lights go out or it becomes dark, it is bright. Okay. Now I'm gonna try and be careful here. So this is his little hanging spider, okay? And then let me just set that there. This is the background for his eyeballs, okay? Of course, the background for his hands. And I don't know why I'm calling him a him. Maybe it's a her. Maybe instead of Marshall the mummy, he is Moira the mummy. How about that? All right. The little spiders. Okay, so let's get this bad boy ready to go. So we're going to wax this. Now this is just a little bit small for the whole transfer to fit on, but it'll fit enough that it'll be just fine. Okay, so we're going to wax this whole thing. Just a little bit of wax goes a really long way. Okay, make sure you get that on there real good. And we are also going to fuzz, so let me get my fuzzing cloth and get this sucker fuzzed. Just a few times should be good. As long as you wax and you fuzz some, you should be okay. Now, let me get my light because it's kind of hard to see. And I don't want to put this thing over too far, so here, that'll help me. There we go. Kind of trying to see where I can get the most bang for my buck here. All right, so there's our little sign. So as you can see, parts of it are not quite covered, but I mean, it's just a little bit of this web over here and a tiny bit of the spider, but there's enough of the spider on here that you can still see him. Now we're gonna go in with white first, okay? Let me see. And we will just cover. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to try to avoid the edges, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. Okay, so there's like a frame around this whole thing. Oh gosh, my white paste is kind of dry a little bit, but it'll be fine. Now this is one of the older style transfers, okay, so we'll probably have to clean it in between. It's unlikely that we're going to be able to do this 2 times without cleaning it, so that's unfortunate, but no big deal, really. Trying to move quickly. My paste is a little thick. It probably needs a little bit of water added in and just stir it up. Okay, trying to scrape some of that paste off of there so that, number one, I'm not wasting it, and number two, it's not so much to clean off whenever, especially cleaning it in here. All right. Now let's pull this baby up. Yeah, so you can see, let me show you that my paste was awfully dry, okay? Now, we can fix that. It's no biggie. We will, first of all, let's clean this transfer and then we can just try again. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I'm just spraying water, okay? And I'll get my board eraser and get that a little wet too with just water. No chemicals or anything like that needed, okay? If anybody tells you to clean your transfers with chemicals, you tell them that you're not supposed to do that. Tell them they shouldn't be doing it either. Okay, there's no need for it. Our paste is washable, entirely washable and water soluble. So it should come clean pretty easily with just a board eraser and water, okay? Now I did put a ton of paste on here. So what I am gonna do is on the non-sticky side. Hi Rainy, hi Alma, welcome. I'm doing good. I got back earlier from going to pick up a bunch of retired transfers. So I have a bunch of stuff that y'all have never seen before. And you're gonna have to come check me out. On Tuesday, I have an event set up on my page for these. Now they're limited quantities. Excuse me, my nose is just itching like crazy. Okay, and first come, first serve. So if you claim it, you got it, okay? And some of them, I have just a few for singles. All right. I think that's pretty good. I did get a new board eraser out because the one I had was getting pretty full of paste. Now, we're gonna have to do this again in a minute once we finish up with the white. But I'm gonna take my fuzzing cloth now, and let me just move this over here. I have my microfiber side up, okay, the lighter side is up, and I'm just sticking that on there, and I'm gonna dry it really well on both sides, okay? And basically, so your darker colored pastes and inks are likely to stain your transfer, okay? Reds, blues, black, but that's totally fine and normal, okay? Just make sure that you got all of the paste out of the silk screen. As you can see, this one's clean, okay? I'm gonna put that over there and, you know, fuzz it once maybe, okay? And what I'm gonna do is, so as you can see, this is what it'll look like if your paste is too dry, which mine needs some water added to it, which I said, and then I proceeded to use it anyway, so that's my bad, okay? So don't do that. Now, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm going to line it up on the design precisely where I had it. Okay, I'm gonna stick it down. And where's my paste? Let's see. Oh, hello. All right. Hi, Bobby. How are you? So we have this mummy door hanger. Okay. It's layered and oh so cute. This transfers. Thanks for dropping in. So see how like my paste is almost gone, but it's dry. Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of water and well, I had my, all right. I literally had a thing in here earlier, but I may have left it in the kitchen. Just adding a little bit of water. I don't know where my multi-tool is. Gosh, I'm a mess, okay? But I'm gonna just stir it. Get that water incorporated. It's about time for me to get a new jar out, but I think this is a good opportunity to show you how you can fix this issue. Okay, so that's a little better. It's still kind of not great, but let me just add a tiny bit more water. I don't want to go too crazy with water, okay, because then it'll be runny. And that's not good either, okay? So you want to find the good balance of like a creamy, sour cream type consistency that's not too runny, but not too thick and like marshmallowy either, which this one was getting a kind of marshmallow texture to it. So definitely don't want that. I'm making a giant mess here. I'm doing great. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off all day long since this morning. Went and picked up my mom, then we drove out to about halfway between here and Austin. And then I came back, went to my mom's house, hung out there for a little while, and then came home and had a nap because it was nap time. Okay, so I'm gonna try this again. I'm just using the white. Okay, that's much better consistency this time. Plus, I think I probably let it sit for too long a minute ago before I pulled it up. So there was like a comedy of errors going on, okay? So I let it sit. My paste was a little questionable, okay, dry-wise, but now it's looking great. So it should be good now. But that just goes to show, like, you don't want to leave your paste open. If you're using it to paint with, great. Put it in a color tray while you're painting. And close that lid. Okay, keep it closed, because by the time you get to the end of the jar, it's going to be, like, gross like this. Now, I'm also going to just... I should probably pick this thing up before I mess it up again, but I think it's good this time. Yeah, oh my gosh. So much better. So much better. All right, so let me see if I can close this thing. Kind of clean that lid up, or the jar up a little bit so that it'll close better, but that is just loads better, as you can see, okay? All right. And so we'll let that dry, and then we're gonna come back to this, and we're gonna add glow in the dark on there, okay? I'm gonna spray some water on that transfer so that it doesn't just sit and dry up while we're doing this, and then we'll come back to it in just a minute. I think we are good to go on paintbrushes, so I'm going to put those in there. But as you can see, this is how this goes. So I painted the background of the mummy a kind of like nude color, okay? And then the front parts, like the layers for the actual mummy, whatever that is, it's like sheet or whatever that they cover the mummy with. in a gray color. Okay, so I've got all that going on here. Hi Marie, how are you? I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Thanks for joining me. I'm gonna dry these eyeballs really quick because they're not quite there yet. So now this does not have to be a door hanger, okay, but it does come with a hanger that you can add a string to and hang it, or you can just have it as a leaner, okay, leaning up against whatever. It doesn't come with a stand though. Okay, now I have freaking paste all over me. Now, this is what we're gonna do first, is get this first layer glued down. Okay, so you wanna line that up. And it lines up with the head, and it also lines up with the rest of the body. Okay, so that's the trick. And I'm just gonna use hot glue on this part. Now, you could use E6000. If your door is in like direct sunlight, I definitely would use something more than just hot glue, because it will melt it and it'll fall. Okay, and you don't want that. All right, there's that. Oh, you like my shirt? Look, I made it myself. It says, do I look like a freaking people person? I am a people person, but I'm also very much an introvert, which is strange because I am a people person too. So I'm kind of a little bit of both. I like being around people, but I also need like time away, and not just like by myself, but like I enjoy being like around Chris, just me and him, because I don't have to like do anything or talk. We don't have to talk. It's nice with him. So again, I want to put all these pieces together before I move on. I find it much easier. So just to make sure that I have everything that I need, all my pieces in place, and I'm thinking the right way about how this thing goes together. Okay, so this one right here is a bigger V piece. It's got a cutout on the corner here. Okay, so it goes up at the top, and you'll see that. And I will post a photo of this. So if you ordered this, then you'll be able to use a picture of it. And then you can kind of put this mummy together really how you like. Okay, it's not really a set way. Okay, I mean, some of it is, but all of it is not. So you can kind of play with it, move the pieces around how you like. But they do fit on perfectly, so you'll be able to tell if you just move it around, okay, exactly how it goes. Now let me pull this over here so that you can see. And I believe that one goes, no, that one's the top of the head, I think. And then this one, oops, is not the bottom. There we, oh wait, hold on. It's hard for me to see all the way up there. Let's see. Let's turn him, shall we? Okay, now, there we go. That one's the top of the head. Oh my gosh. I'm on a struggle bus, okay? Let me see. I have a picture. There we go. Right above his eyes. Okay. So we'll put all of that on And I do need to draw some eyes on him, like draw in his eyes. I also have these little spiders. And my mom was very insistent earlier, even though she has not come to this party, which I find to be a little rude. Hi, Jennifer. I'm sorry I didn't see your comment at first, but welcome. Thank you for joining me. All right, so she wants me, these have to be Black Widows. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just make them Black Widows, okay, to satisfy her. There we go. It's just a little hourglass, all right, on their back. There we go. Now we know they're really dangerous, okay? So do that with just a red marker, a red paint pen. Make it easy. And then we can start putting this guy together, okay? Or gal. It may be a gal, I don't know. Yours can be whatever you want it to be. All right, now let's begin, shall we? All right, so first piece going on. I almost put it on upside down. This one was kind of difficult to line up, but that's okay. And then this next one right here. All right. Okay. Hold up. I might have just messed up a little bit. Well, his eyes are going to be a little bit off, but that's okay. It's all right. Let's see what we can do about it, shall we? I don't know if I can pick this up. There we go. Okay, I didn't break it, thank God. Now, let me push, I'm gonna put his eyeballs in first. What am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm new here. No, I'm not new here. I've been around for a minute. Okay, now, I got white paint on him. He's a mess, but that's okay. And now I can push this thing down, okay? And not be a complete disaster, okay? So definitely put the eyeballs in first and then go from there, okay? Now I'm gonna, it's probably not necessary, but I'm gonna touch up the little white that I got on his eyeball, and then I'm gonna leave those eyeballs over there for a minute until that dries. Okay. Ooh. Came awfully close to just getting hot glue on my finger. All right. Just like that. All right, now we have a mummy, semi-mummy, okay? Let me just... dry that little extra paint that I have there. And we're gonna pop his little eyeballs in. I wanna see, because I had an idea of how I wanted this to be. Oh, I'm missing that piece right there. Okay. This part lines up right with the bottom of his head. Okay, so there's our little mummy. He's got eyeballs. And now we have hands for him, okay? But what I want to do is on the placement, we need to finish the sign first, okay? So this is our sign that he's going to be holding. So let's switch back. Oh man, I need a new battery. I think these batteries that I have are about done for. Some of them. I got like 1 or 2 new ones and the other ones are old. Like really old. Okay, so move our sign over there. I already sprayed with water, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water onto the other side of my board eraser and get that really good. So whenever you're using the glow in the dark, you do want to clean your transfer because you don't want to, you want to be able to line it up really well, first of all, and second of all, you don't want to spread white paste all over your black background, okay, or whatever color you've used, okay. Just, I don't want you to, you don't want you to, so definitely clean in between uses and it will save you a lot of time and frustration, okay, and having to repaint if you mess up. Now, I'm just cleaning the front, the non-sticky side with the baby wipe just to get like any excess because I wasn't able to rinse my board eraser. So because of that, I have a lot of excess paste in that board eraser and I'm not doing myself any favors by not cleaning it off a little bit. So now, again, same thing with my fuzzing cloth and the microfiber side. I'm just drying it off, okay? On both the sticky and non-sticky sides, making sure that I don't have any paste in the silk screen is utmost importance, okay? And as you kind of wipe down the sticky side with the microfiber, you're gonna see it's gonna, like, all of a sudden the sticky will come right back. It's kind of weird. Okay, so now I have my clean transfer. I'm gonna just take this and first of all, make sure that you're dry. I'm going to line this up exactly with my design, okay? So that it is right on top of my design. And I'm gonna stick it down really well. And then I have my glow in the dark here. Let me see. Hi Patsy, how are you? Welcome. This is what glow in the dark looks like, okay? And it's super cool how this works. I just love it. I don't know, I guess I had 2 squeegees out, but I guess I used them both. All right, so now I'm just gonna pull that glow in the dark right over my other design, okay? Right over the top of it. covering every part. Now you want to be kind of meticulous with this because you want to make sure that you get the whole thing, and it's a little hard to see, okay? Because it's basically clear. So just go in an organized way across your transfer to make sure that you get the entire design. Now you can kind of see it a little bit, but it's super easy to miss one little part, okay? And again, if you haven't gotten your glow in the dark yet, make sure that you go grab that. Now, I'm gonna just take this and pull it up, and you can't even see it, okay? You shouldn't be able to see it. But I'm gonna let that, well, I guess I need to make it dry because we are about ready for it. We're getting close. Just make sure that you're really good and dry before you move on, because you're going to be messing with this a lot, okay? And you don't want to not have it dry. Okay, so I'm going to place this on my surface where I'm going to want it, and I want, this is the correct way, obviously, because the spider's hanging down, okay? So both hands need to have this part on the outside, okay? So that's important. And I'm gonna glue this here while this sign is on here, because I wanna make sure that it fits perfectly, okay? Well, you know, I should probably glue the sign first, but look, if I was smarter, there would be a lot of things I would do, but it's not glue the sign first, obviously. Okay, so glue the sign first. Get that in place, okay? I don't know what I was thinking I was gonna do, but I was not thinking smart. All right, get that thing down. And then you can put your little hands in place, and there's not a whole lot to glue them to, so just find the best place to glue them in and get them in there, okay? And there's your base for your hands. All right, now you do have some little mummy covers for the hands too. So let's see. How those go on there. All right, there we go. We're getting there. Oops, goodness. Yellow? Butterfingers, I tell you. Okay. So there's our little mummy. Look how cute he is so far. I love him. All right. And get our little spiders on. All right, and then I have an idea. I kind of drew something out a minute ago on how I wanted his eyes to look. So let me just, all right, so I'm gonna do a line on each side, and then a little circle like that, and then we'll come back and we'll dot a little white, okay? And then on his arm, I mean, on all of his parts, I take my black marker and just add a little bit of detail. And I'm kind of squiggling a little bit. And then just give him a little bit of character here. Okay, you can't do it wrong. Oh no, I about broke his little spider web thing right here. You could even draw in the spider web if you want to, instead of having it be black. I'm gonna leave mine black. Let me dry his little eyeballs real quick. Hi Donna, how are you? Thank you, I'm glad you like this little guy. Now again, this is gonna be a door hanger, okay? But you do not have to make him a door hanger. He can just be a leaner, okay? There we go. Look how cute he is. Oh my goodness. Look. Ah. Okay, but I will include the hardware for you to make it a door hanger, okay? So let me just cut off some of my favorite thick jute. Isn't he cute? And so I was thinking he could hang by his head, but now I'm starting to think that maybe the hanger needs to be here on his shoulders, okay? So that's what I'm thinking. I love using my fuzzing cloth to just protect him or her. And this is how this works, okay? You're going to take this bottom part, which is this part, and it'll be glued down, okay, wherever you're gonna put this. And I haven't glued it down yet, but I'm just gonna dot a little bit of glue on my jute like that on each end so that it's makes it like a little shoestring, kind of easier to thread through the holes. Okay, just like that, which will make a little hook. Okay, and I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna just, let me see, pull it through and make a little tie a little knot there, and another one over here. And then I've got a little hanger, okay? Now, this works perfectly because that little hanger with that little cutout right there ends up having perfect space for your little knots to hang through. Now I'm gonna just trim this off, just like that. I'm gonna put this down, okay? Right in the center. And I'm gonna glue this one on. I'm also gonna put just a little bit of glue right here in these little holes so that when I put that down, everything is just nice and tidily tucked in, and I have a nice, perfect little hanger. Okay, so I'm not gonna hang on it yet. We have a little bit more that I wanted to do, and then I will show you exactly how he works with his hanger. This is dark antiquing gel or wax. Okay, it's more of a wax. I think that'll work. So I'm just going to use one of these little brushes from Dollar Tree and stick that in right in the wax and come over here and kind of just add a little bit of this to him. Okay, now I don't want to go crazy with this. I don't want him to be covered in this stuff. Oh my gosh, I say that and then I just like pile a ton on him on accident. So yeah, you know, I do say some things sometimes and I'm like, well, that's not what I meant, but here I am. Okay, just gonna add a little bit because look, he's been in a tomb for like a long time. And he's just coming out for Halloween. So he is not clean. Now, you might want to do this in between layers before you glue them all together. But you know me, I like to make my own life harder. And if you don't know me, my name is Pamela and I like to make my own life harder in so many ways. But I think my little either Marvin the mummy, or I don't remember what I said earlier, but Marsha the mummy is looking awfully cute, and she will hang on your door, or he will hang on your door just perfectly, just like that. The little hanger works perfect. Okay, you can hang it from his head or from his, I think it'll work just fine on his shoulders too. Okay, isn't it so cute? I love it too. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that y'all were here with me tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you had a great Saturday. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday tomorrow. And if you haven't yet, go over to my page and make sure that you accept the invite for my live sale on Tuesday, because you are going to want to be there. You don't want to miss it, okay? So whenever you comment Mummy, you'll also get a link so that you can sign up to get notifications so you know when I'm going live. And it's super helpful. That way you know. But I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Glad you enjoyed this project, and I'll see you soon, okay? Good night.